rolling? Okay, good. Welcome behind the scenes to the director's commentary for 321 Presents episode number 28. As the host and editor on this one, I will be walking through it, of course. I am Nick, and you'll never believe who they got as my co-host on this one. The man himself who helped record the episode with me. We've got Zach today.
Oh, I was hoping to see today. CB.
Fantastic. Well, Zach, thanks for joining me for the director's commentary on the episode. We've been forgetting to do these for everything, so I figured we'll just start with the one that we're doing this week and give people the little behind-the-scenes look at the recording and whatnot. You're also going to help me out with a little administrative cleanup because I've been doing my due diligence and getting our YouTube and our website all up to date, current to published episodes and whatnot. But we're almost about 30 episodes in on this bad boy, and I think we're due for a new trailer.
Alrighty.
So we're gonna take care of that right now while in the actual episode that we're talking over right now, I'm doing a very witty intro and clever nicknaming thing for both of us. But in the meantime, I figured what better way to do a new trailer than to spring one of our surprise quizzes on one another. So I've got a very meta quiz about our show.
All right.
And it's rule of threes. I have 3 sections with 3 questions each. And I will, oddly enough, they are not in difficulty order by format. So we'll start off with the multiple choice section. Zach, which of these local sports teams have we not covered? A, the Denver Outlaws. B, the Denver Summit. C, the Rocky Mountain Vibes. D, the Colorado Eagles. Or E, the Mines or Diggers.
In which format are we talking about here? Are we specifically closed off to 321 Presents? Are we opening up to this This Week in Sports?
I think I did have to include some This Week in Sports coverage in this as well.
What were my options again? The Or Diggers are for sure included because we have the funny names and whatnot, and then we also talked about their funny looks. Outlaws that we haven't talked about specifically, but they were mentioned when. Who is our outdoor lacrosse team?
That is the Outlaws.
Yeah, we covered them quite a bit, especially on their fantastical playoff run. Look, I figured out how to say the word.
Hey.
Summit for sure we covered last week. Eagles we haven't talked about. I don't think. No, we've talked about them, but we've never
we
actually
touch on them every now and then. Yeah. One of us maybe is confused. I had the Mines or Diggers as the team we had not talked about. The Rocky Mountain Vibes were in the discussion of goofy
Technically,
names.
We talked about them way back in This Week in Sports when we were talking about funny athlete names and athlete looks because the Mines always do a funny thing where they go and do like the weird mustaches or do the bleach blonde hair or a number of different combinations. So we have talked about them long ago.
Well, in a wonderful intro to the game, you have foiled my options, and we'll give you the point for that.
Thank you.
Moving right along to question number 2. Which of the following people has not been on an episode cover art? Your options are Hillary Knight, Kevin James, Nathan McKinnon, Rachel McAdams, Samuel L. Jackson.
Hillary Knight's been there for sure. Kevin James was there for sure. Samuel L. Jackson, I don't remember. I don't think he's been there because we haven't done anything Samuel L. Jackson related. I feel pretty good about that one. Mm-hmm. Rachel McAdams, I cannot picture her right now in my head.
Yeah. I thought that might be an issue for you, knowing names of people.
It sounds like a default white lady, but I'm sure she's a great actress of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Samuel L. Jackson.
No, Coach Carter
we did do Coach Carter.
Did make the cover.
I forgot about Coach Carter.
I have not yet used Nathan McKinnon.
We didn't use Nathan McKinnon for his salty silver medal award.
No, he did not make the cover art on that week in particular. I've used Natchez, Kadri, Landy.
I'm surprised he didn't make the one for the Olympics where he got his little plushie. Like, the hell is this?
No, that's a cursed image that...
I like it.
It's pretty funny. All right. And our last multiple choice option for you. Which of these controversies have we not discussed? The Logic crash out, Donald Glover as Yoshi, Afro Man wins in court, David and the snitch Tesla is how I've labeled it, or Bad Bunny's controversial Super Bowl performance.
I don't think we've talked about Donald and Yoshi yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the snitch. I think it was briefly mentioned, but
That was one of our episode 1 topics.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah.
Why you be snitching?
Yep. If he had chosen any other brand of vehicle,
Yeah.
that might have not.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
There are competitors with the similar tech for sure.
If the key is that you have to have your car paid off, as long as you have the title in hand and you're not Tesla, you're usually okay.
There you go. All right. And now, ironically enough, the true and false section, which I think is a little bit more difficult despite only having the 50-50 odds. All right. Question number 1. True or false? Every week we deliver a roundup of sports and media news to share with each other and the audience.
Every week? I've taken AP classes before and the SATs and ACTs and all that stuff. Every week. Have we done it? I want to say true. I feel like that's true. We may have skipped a week, which is why I'm scared about that word every week.
Final answer?
I'm going to go with true. I feel like we've been pretty on that.
False. We've done 3 holiday-specific episodes.
Oh, no.
We have a Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's special.
I deleted the holidays from my brain. I was like, what are we doing every week?
Question 2. In the sports roundup, we take an unbiased look at the happenings of the major 4 sports leagues. True or false?
I want to say true, but we all know that's false.
False. I am openly biased against the Red Wings, Stars, and Raiders. And also, we cover the women's leagues, too.
Yeah.
We are more coverage than just your major 4.
Absolutely.
And question number 3. True or false? Our whole show is improvised, off the cuff, and 100% factually accurate.
Well... yes is the answer. True and false?
False. We definitely prepare some parts and definitely don't prepare others.
Yeah.
So the whole show being improvised is incorrect.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, and section number 3, just to fill in the blank for the answer. Not even fill in the blank technically. Just no options. You just got to know the answer. But I think you'll do okay on these. Question number 1. What is the streaming service that Nick is constantly doing unpaid advertising for?
Dropout.
Fantastic.
Unshamedly, too.
Yeah. Number 2. What media company's acquisition have we been following for months now?
Who is going to buy the Warner Brothers, for the God's sake? Please.
Fantastic. Well, I would have given you a bonus point for Warner Brothers Discovery, but no one remembers.
I'm upset with Discovery because they kind of ruined my Warner Brothers.
Yeah. And question number 3. What surprise worldwide phenomenon finally converted you to K-pop?
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Hooray! And now for a bonus point to make up for some of those misses. Where can you find all the episodes of 321 Presents and the other podcasts that we make?
You can find them on Spotify, Apple, the YouTubes, on our website, 321pods.com, and probably others to come. You got some clips on the TikToks, on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams. They're all over the place.
Fantastic. I'll give you the bonus point for that.
Thank you.
And that's a brand new trailer.
Awesome.
And then we can get back to discussing the episode at hand, where, let's see, we'll go ahead and do the crunchy media stuff this week first. Save the sports for end of the episode. And I've got some video game topics I'd love to discuss. One of which is just a little preview that I have seen. The game is announced now and looks like it might be right up my alley. And it is called Eye of the Match. And it is a game where you are the situation room for football, a soccer game. And they send you clips, and you have to use the different camera angles at your availability and the rule book. It's very Papers, Please sort of interface of lots of different little checks and whatnot. And then they expect you to there's a timer you have to get your decision in by. So that looks very fun.
Timer feels very mean because there is no timer on any of the eye of the match. To the true eye of the match things, there ain't
You got to gameplay it up somehow.
a little bit, but some of them feel like they're taking eternity. We're sitting here for 10, 15 minutes.
Maybe you get penalized or something if you go over the time.
Not in real life. They're just like, make the right call, you.
Yeah, no, of course. But in a video game, we can make it work the way we want.
Unsure.
So that it doesn't even have like a anticipated release date yet, according to the Steam page. But I have seen the little trailer for it going around, and it's got my interest.
Yeah, I think it's a interesting take on something that we as sports fans are so involved with that we kind of don't really know much about, other than it's kind of a little bit of a black box, and we know it's somewhere in New York for the most of the leagues.
Like there have been little like, in here we take you to the Situation Room, and it's like 3 people in front of a wall of screens. But yeah, like the big variable that seems bad to have is that different arenas have different camera equipment, and like different angles are possible or not possible based on like where they're actually playing.
Different arenas, what station you're broadcasting on. There's a whole bunch of like little variables.
Indeed. Make it very tricksy. But also funny that there is now sort of a simulator game for just about every single profession.
We're getting there.
The list is growing ever shorter of jobs you cannot simulator.
It's funny that especially a lot of like the job simulator ones are like the ones that give your brain like the nice little pleasure, whatnot. But jobs that people would never actually do.
Yeah.
Like the power washing one, people love.
People love grocery store simulator now, and I can tell you for sure that's not that fun.
House flipper.
Yep, House Flipper. The TCG card game one is very popular now.
Yeah, TCG one would be. I'm interested in that.
That one like has the potential, but the day-to-day realities of running like any actual business of card shop, it's probably terrible. As any other retail job, like we said, most of the simulators don't encompass the soul crushingness.
Not always.
Generally not. The other video game topic I would love to cover is Pokopia and some story spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah, some spoilers, as we call them, for the narrative component of Pokopia. Because I think they're doing some very interesting storytelling in this game that is a blatant ripoff of Minecraft and Animal Crossing.
It's different. It's Pokemon.
Indeed. Are you familiar, before we hop in, with any of the storyline of the game? Have you been seeing any playthroughs?
Nope. I bought it for my partner Bailey, and she's been playing a little bit here and there just to kind of, as I play my video game, she'll hop on her Pokopia, and that's all I get. I know the Pokemon talk and have some funny lines, some pretty clever lines.
The writing is very good and fun. The narrative component of the game is in the what are called human artifacts that you can discover around the map. It turns out, as we explore more of the land of Pokopia, that it is Kanto, the ruins of old Kanto that we are wandering around in. And through picking up different bits of lore and human records that come through varying degrees of age, we pieced together the story that climate disasters were increasingly more common in the Pokemon world, and there were a few different factions working on plans to gather as many humans as possible to escape into space.
So you're giving me the plot of WALL-E here.
Indeed. That is what happened if, instead of little cute robots being left behind on Earth, it was in fact cute little Pokemon. So the story we discover is that only the humans could be transported into space, and the Pokemon would be left in the computer storage system, which is canonical to the games, that you can digitize Pokemon and store them in computers. Which is wild. And that the designer of that system put in a failsafe because the original plan was that a small team of humans would leave the main group and come back to Earth for maintenance on the computer system when necessary. Because as we know, any unattended computer will eventually find some way to fail without maintenance. And so barring if like it went too long without that regular maintenance, the system would start looking for habitable environments and releasing Pokemon into those environments. And that's where Tangrowth comes in, and then the Ditto, and then through your actions as the player character of Ditto, you make more and more of the land habitable for more and more Pokemon to get released, and that's why they're just popping up when you make little habitats. It's a very fun little way of like making the story. But the other aspect of that I wanted to discuss with you is the notion of the meta component of what this game means for the Pokemon company and like its messaging to its regular audience and then also to the new audience it's going for. Because the game in itself is sort of a metaphor for taking what people expect of a Pokemon game like back to its roots, like bare bones, in a post-apocalyptic world where there is nothing else. Here is a brand new blank canvas for a new generation of Pokemon fans to plant their seeds.
It's an interesting take for sure. Like when I think of this version of Pokemon now that we kind of have a little bit more of the story laid out, it feels basically kind of like how Gen 1 almost came about. Like we know about the worlds of Pokemon now, but now we're on a little bit of a new adventure. We're still going to capture our little monsters / bugs, as we know if you've listened to the 2426 for the item. We're not really capturing, but we're kind of figuring out who's where, building little habitats for them. So we're collecting them in a way.
Yeah.
It feels it's different and fresh take. Not, I wouldn't say it's up my alley still quite, because I am admittedly not a big fan of Ditto except for breeding purposes, mostly in the game.
For functionality.
Yeah, for functionality. But I mean, for someone like you who's very in-depth in the Pokemon, I can see where this might pique your interest a little bit more. And I know people who maybe don't enjoy the act of actually like playing the Pokemon games where it's like, I got to go collect all these things, go fight with these things, train these things, not super appealing. But this one where it's more Animal Crossing and I'm building something that's more aesthetically pleasing to me, that also fits in for them. It brings them into the Pokemon world.
And what they've done is seemingly branched out those two interests with the current announcement of games. Are you aware of Pokemon Champions?
I did see Pokemon Champions. Everyone's been waiting for it to come out. There's been like a few delays, but everyone's excited. And I guess from my understanding, it's like you are going to take the best Pokemon, and these are the hardcore IV.
This is the
people.
competitive battling scene. This is a game specifically for them. It is in the same model as the Pokemon Unite, where it's a free-to-play download, but if you want cosmetics or the full roster of available Pokemon, that's all going to cost you actual real-life money.
Yeah, Pokemon Unite, also very underrated game.
It's very. I hop in every now and then. Very good. Yeah, a little fun one there. That does seem to be the strategy of the day, though, for the Pokemon companies, like diversifying into these different genres. Again, 30 years in, you're not getting that many new folks in on the mainline games anymore.
And then, like we've kind of talked about a few different times here, I don't know how much more they need to do, especially in like the creation of Pokemon. Allegedly, I think I heard that like when they're all said and done, they want there to be more than 10,000 different Pokemon.
There was something out there, where someone mentioned like we know of a world, like we can envision a world where we're over 10,000.
Yeah, which sure, like that's another 60-ish so years, and of course with new people coming up and with new ideas and whatnot, very possible. But like with the 1,000 plus that we already have, I mean, you could do literally quite anything, and especially if you want to introduce different typings and stuff like that, or different multi-typings, like that's very available. There's so many different mixes and matches in the Pokemon world to do so.
Yeah, pretty infinite. And then the fact that part of that, like the roster we have now and that expansion, is the notion of just doing alternate versions of designs you've already done, and that's like a free way of bumping up the numbers as well.
Yeah, like I said, the game I'm waiting for is I just want the original gens and let me to hop and kind of do a little bit of you could even brand the game like Ash's Journey, where I can just continue on and like maybe I can go collect all the badges, or I need to collect all the badges before I leave, but I can get to do all the breeding, collecting of all these Pokemon, and then hop to the next island and do the same thing there.
I think you're more likely to find that from the ROM hacking community than from an official release, but
I believe anything is possible. Like the world of what Arceus has already given me, at least
sure.
in the old ones, I can see where they're going, and I think we can get there sooner than later. And I wouldn't even mind, like, in my opinion, I like the Arceus games even a little bit better, especially to some of the original Pokemon games, just because I like to have the big exploration and the ability to see all the Pokemon and stuff like that. I like that story.
I think the world that they create in the Arceus games of like all the Pokemon wandering around is very fun and really helps like bring the world to life. I do think the first one
Is so much better, but
better, bigger, like scope because of the fact that it was like previous to any stories. They had a lot more freedom in like what the story actually was. That didn't. Again, that was like kind of my biggest critique of ZA was not a thrilling narrative or didn't make any sense. It's like one of those questions about good like RPG adventures and stuff of like why it had to be the hero, like why the story revolves around the heroes. Why did it have to be that person? And in ZA, it's like it doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Any kid who walked through the gates at that point could have ended up where you were.
You boy.
Basically.
How old are you?
The other little interesting note I've wanted to cover about Pokopia is the subtle bit of sort of community building that they are teaching in the like gameplay loop of building habitats, making safe spaces for people. The people who come to stay in those safe spaces with you, it's like make them comfortable, get them the little things they want, provide food for everyone, and then all of a sudden you have people who have special skills, and are you utilizing those? And it's a fun little hidden socialist agenda.
Pokemon know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, but the important thing about that, I guess, is that it's this very big franchise doing that in a way that's so the topic. The way I thought it was important was that there is a thing in human beings of being. We rely on our instincts when we don't know better, but we're pretty easy to teach new ways of like responding to things. So this game is now doing a fun little thing of planting that seed in a lot of people's heads, but like younger kids for sure. Secret socialist agenda.
Yeah, I mean, overall, and like I've said, I've come back to the Pokemon world a little bit harder as I've turned into a collector myself now that I have big kid money with small kid brain. It feels like a little bit sometimes. But like the Pokemon world and culture in general is very wholesome, and in like Nintendo and all the things they do for just like wouldn't even say the community, but in the world in general feels very intentional. Like they have a good grasp on who they are and what they want and the things they like to see and who their people are. Of course, there's the villains out there. There's always the scalpers and things like that are not always they do feel like the Team Rocket inside of the Pokemon community, if you will.
Yeah.
But like Pokemon knows what they're doing, what messages they want to set out, and how they want to build their community and all that stuff. Like it's very thought out from them for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very good. And that was all my video game news this week. Did you have any video game notes?
Did not. I'm still waiting for something to really come in and tickle my fancy. It felt a little bit light on the video game side, especially early on. Depending on what you like, I've been searching for a good RPG to sink my teeth into. So I'm waiting for one of those to come through, but I haven't seen anything on the schedule quite yet. Pokemon's down the road. I know I'm getting my Fire Emblem at the end of the year here. I think there was another big one coming in June, perhaps, but I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't think of any big titles coming down the pipeline. The big thing I saw was that Starfield has finally made it to PS5 two years later.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard is that there's been like another disconnect in. I don't remember which. PlayStation's like, yeah, we're not going to be sharing again with the Microsoft Xbox community. We're going to have like, especially the single player things, just be PlayStation specific once again.
Yes. And Starfield coming from BioWare now owned by Microsoft, I want to say.
Yep.
So this was also a kind of a rare continuation of that olive branch where Microsoft doesn't have to let Starfield be on PS5.
I'm interested to see what Microsoft does. I know we are supposed to be getting, I think, like a Microsoft look in depth of what their sort of next vision is. And allegedly they're going to release what's going to be their next gen of new console, or at least the concept of it. And from what a lot of people have been hearing about it, or what's been leaked about it, is it feels very much just like a PC of sorts. So let's suppose they want to kind of be more aligned with what the Switch does or the Steam Deck does. But really, and it's just like you are just building a different type of handheld PC or PC that you play on that's like an Xbox software that's running, really.
Essentially, yeah. There's not a lot of hardware room to innovate, especially right now with the big chip shortage and RAM shortage going on.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation just bumped all their. You got one at the right time. This bumped all their prices, $125 extra on all their machines because of all the shortages.
Yeah, and several different. The Steam Decks are now out of stock just
Can't buy
across the
them.
board.
Yep.
Yeah. Switch 2 continues to be in stock in most places, but had a really good boom there thanks to Pokopia. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, yeah, what else the Microsoft company, kind of not very surprising that when they don't know what to do, they spat out a computer.
I mean, for the most part, everyone's been saying like Xbox is dead, which is fair because
why would anyone buy an Xbox and not just a PC?
Yeah, at that point, that's kind of been the question. Xbox is like,
and they don't have
fair.
They don't have
fair.
a good answer to it. Largely it seems like it's their subscription library access now that's going to be the game plan.
The one thing they have to figure out is like the huge advantage in what I love about my Steam Deck is having the Steam OS just run so nice and smooth and clean. If they can figure out how to do that on a portable gaming station, on portable gaming stations or things like that, that's because the Microsoft versions are usually not as good or as refined as the Steam OS ones, and a lot of those you can't do a Steam OS install, unfortunately, that plays well.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can figure that out, I think that's like a huge win for them because that opens up a bunch of market, and then you don't have to go out there and build the machines. Like the money is in that for the most part. I mean, the margin's probably pretty good, but having all the shortages and stuff and dealing with that, like if you can just license your software, that's just money.
Oh yeah. That would be the smart thing to do. I don't know if that's necessarily what we'll see them do, but I do agree that would be the smart thing to do.
Hey, anything's possible. Like the Rogue Ally's already there. That's Xbox specific. We can get a good software. We're talking a little bit. Open up that game library a little bit.
Yeah, it all sounds like a beautiful dream that I'm not holding my breath on.
That's why we have the Steam Deck.
Indeed. Other news in the media world this week. I have not watched any of the full season yet, but Invincible season 4 has hit the streaming on Amazon Prime.
Episode 1 has. We're episodic here. The Prime is
we're on the weekly release schedule.
Prime and Apple have decided that they are on a weekly release schedule. Only Netflix does the full sets. I shouldn't even say a full set because very rarely do you get a full thing of Netflix. It's the batches.
The data now says that it is bad to release the whole season all at once.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
It burns people out too quickly. You can string interest along for a much longer time span with weekly release.
Yeah.
So yes. Are you caught up through season 3?
I did get through season 3. Still arguably one of my favorite animations and superhero stories that I've seen thus far. It's just an interesting story. I haven't made it all the way through the comics, but our housemate and your partner Leo did make it through all of the comics and says that the animation is far superior. So
it's been a great series so far. I agree. One of the more interesting animated series, and like the story as a whole is a very interesting take. I was thinking about this earlier, and let me throw this idea at you. I think the interesting thing, or one of the things that I found about Invincible, is that they make the civilian characters, quote unquote, the sort of um, archetypal, sort of like the mom is very much of like a stereotypical mom character type of thing. And then all of the superheroes who have costumes and identities are like the much deeper, richer, like more in-depth characters. And it's like this subversion of normally you they like we're following a civilian perspective in stories, and those are the deep characters that we get to know and love, and superheroes are sort of like the big over the top
I
broad strokes character.
I agree for the most part. I think there are like a couple civilians in there. Like, I think the mom's story is a little. I think we're gonna get a little bit more of that. I think her story's not quite fully fleshed out, especially in the animation. Like, I feel like there's a deeper side to her that we don't know. The dude who basically is Amanda Waller, I forget what his name is.
So this was another thought in a tangent I had about this. I think Cecil,
Yep.
is
Cecil.
this world's equivalent of Batman. I think he is the like realistic version of
I don't know if I can say
Batman.
He feels more like it's more Amanda Wallery than it is Batman-y. Like,
I guess less quote unquote Batman,
less evil as Amanda Waller, but has all the same like.
Because he's the strategist thinking 10 steps ahead of everyone, like a Bruce Wayne Batman character. He's not going out and punching the villains himself or anything, but he is very much the high-tech assisted schemer, essentially.
Amanda Waller.
Okay. I don't disagree.
It just like
multiple archetypes, I guess.
For sure. Like, he feels like a better version of Amanda Waller, who is notably just so god awful.
Yes.
As a person, he feels like he has a little bit more depth. We don't know enough about him quite yet. And I know season 3, I think potentially is going to get into that, at least from what we saw from season 2. Spoilers, allegedly.
4 for 3. Because we know what season 3 had.
Oh yeah. All my numbers are all messed up. I forget we're in season 4. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I am also interested to see season 4 again. It's been a very good job of writing for escalating our scale and the stakes for Mark at the end of every season. That I think has been a very interesting and well done part of the story. Season 3 really escalated our situation with a lot of characters quite a lot. If you're not caught up, we won't spoils that because that is still a little too fresh.
This to me, at least the writing in Invincible feels a lot like an early Marvel. Like, we kind of all know what's coming and who the big bads are and what's about to happen. Like, Thanos was revealed very, very early on, and we knew. If you're a comic book nerd, you knew what was
the tease, what
was gonna happen. And this one, we know sort of what's happening. When that's kind of getting the build up as to when is this gonna happen? How many little bit more arcs are we gonna have? What's Mark gonna go through with before he sees this? Is he gonna be ready? All this anticipation coming through.
Indeed, very good. And then my last media note this week, I would be a poor Chili Peppers fan to not note Flea's solo jazz album came out last week. Honora is the name of that one, and it is about an hour long. And it is, a bit of a love letter to jazz, some standard, like some covers of some old classics, and a few experimental tracks as well. Very trumpet heavy, as that is Flea's original instrument. But if you're an open-minded jazz fan, give it a listen. And for anyone else, you can probably pass.
Interesting take there. Also, aren't we close to being due for a new album here soon-ish?
Oh, I don't know if we can expect that. Generally, they don't start their 2 to 3 year new album clock until they finish the world tour, and I think they just finished that last year, so it's at least another year probably before I'd start looking. And I don't even know if they're gonna be on that same timetable anymore. It doesn't seem like they're in a super big hurry to be producing at the same rate in their golden years now.
But say, seen Flea's been kind of doing a little bit of his own thing. Chad is, I think, teaching people how to play the drums these days, and is a drummer in a few other bands.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants Chad to be drumming for them, so he can go wherever he wants to drum.
Yeah, Anthony's, no one knows what he's up to.
Anthony,
John, no one knows what he's kind of up to.
John's probably making weird music, weird electronic music, somewhere on his own in one of his many mansions.
It's a tough life to have, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Where did I leave my electronic music?
Okay. Any other media notes on your end?
No, I did finally get to sit down and I watched Zootopia 2.
Oh,
for
nice.
those who are interested in the Disney animation. It's actually really good. It's a fun, interesting story and take, especially from what we know as just people and having animals in animations. It's a fun, interesting take, and if you need something to sit down and watch for an hour and a half, it's worthwhile. I'll tell you that.
Very good. I still have that on my to watch list, but good to know. I didn't have like. The original was a very good movie as well, and yeah, I figured they would do something good. We know there's gonna be a third one eventually.
We do know. They kind of gave a little teaser at the end of 2, in fact.
Yeah, that's not a huge surprise. Very good. Let's head on over to Sports Roundup Country then, and Zach, why don't you start us off? What's going on in basketball and football these days?
Nothing much from the football world. Everyone's kind of trying to figure things out. If you're looking for good news in the football world, you're not going to really get it. It seems for the most part. The biggest news that we saw in the football world is unfortunately Puka Nacua did have to enter rehab for just some self-care and self-love and some apparently some decision makings. I guess the Rams might have sent him off or made him agree to go off after he's done questionable things.
It seemed fairly necessary for sure, because the allegation that came out before he went into rehab was about biting a woman and screaming anti-Semitic remarks at her.
Yeah, apparently 2 women. He bit 2 women.
2 different women. Interesting.
Yes.
I did not know that detail. But yes, one of the many, yeah. What is it with the wide receivers? And that certain breed comes out every 10 years or so.
As soon as you get the big contract and have a little bit of the superstar syndrome, things can kind of go wrong. Let it be said, have your people by you. Make sure you're getting checked. And tone that ego down a little bit every once in a while. It's all right.
Something. Yeah. Wild stuff out there.
In the NBA, we're kind of getting a better picture of what our playoffs are going to be looking like. You start in the East over here. Detroit still without Cade. He's going to be still a couple weeks out, allegedly. That's with our season still going on. He's still working on finding another lung somewhere. But they are still holding number 1 in the West and are bound to play. They clinched their division, so I think they'll be fine without. They'll be fine, and they won't be in the playoff play-in. So that'll be good for them. So they have a couple weeks for him to get healthy. Boston's right behind them. New York, Cleveland, Atlanta, Philly, Toronto, Charlotte, Orlando, and Miami are all going to be in the playoffs. As for where, New York, Cleveland, and Boston, we know aren't going to be in the play-in. Atlanta, Philly, Toronto, Charlotte, Orlando, and Miami they're all in the playoffs. What seed they're going to be in, nobody knows quite yet. We still have a week or two to figure that all out.
That's always kind of fun. I do like when those the end of the season has to have some games that matter for something, and seeding battles is good a reason as any to get entertained.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the seeding means is in the East, because it's really just a shootout. It's like, if you're all going to be in the play-in anyway, it's like, does it really kind of matter? Just kind of figure, I guess there is like a better matchups. They all have their favored matchups, but to try to get that matchup's like, at least in my opinion. What do I know? I'm over here in the West, which we know Oklahoma City and San Antonio, by far the best teams in the league. Both of them are at the top and have been clinched for quite a while. The Lakers clinched their division with a win last week, so they will not be in the play-in. Us as Nuggets fans are sitting fourth right now, and that would be the correct spot to be in. Houston's right behind us with Minnesota, Phoenix, Portland, the Clippers, and Golden State all in that play-in area, and really anything can happen there.
Now, so top 4, we'd be facing number 5.
We would be facing 5. Let me look in what I can't never remember what this play-in bracket ever looks like.
Oh yeah, because the play-in fills out 7 and 8, right?
Yeah. So we'll get 5.
Okay.
We'll get 5. Who right now is looking like it is going to be
Houston.
either Houston or Minnesota. They're a game apart. And if we fall down to 5 or 6, we'll end up with Houston or Minnesota. So win-win there for the most part. The Lakers,
I would rather keep home court advantage.
Ideal, yeah. Yeah, I would agree. We've kind of been, for some reason, we played a little bit worse at home this year than we did away for some odd reason.
Well, Avs haven't been worse, but not as good home ice advantage as in previous years.
While here in the Mile High State, for sure. The Lakers, of course, will get that 6th spot. San Antonio and Oklahoma will get whoever comes in out of that play-in. And that's really all the news that we have for the round ball. I haven't heard much of what's going on in the WNBA quite yet either. They got a lot of things. We know there's been some trades that happened. I know the Sky traded one of their picks away to one of the new incoming teams. I think it's Portland. And they said, don't touch any of our players. And they said, all right, sounds good.
I believe our expansion draft is happening currently, or happened today, with the Fire and Tempo both doing their selections. So, yeah, clicking right along in the off-season proceedings there.
Clicking indeed. It feels like a NHL season where it's just hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yeah, they are. They really did take it down to the wire in terms of those negotiations. So it'll be kind of funny to see how the rollout is through all these off-season activities. But
so the crazy thing to me, right, is we kind of talked about it during the whole CBA thing and negotiations. Like, most of these players are not signed. There are so many free agents out there in the world.
The majority of the players will need contracts for the coming season.
So it's like, who am I drafting then?
Most of the rosters are empty.
Who am I drafting then?
The unprotected 4 players.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I assume that's how they'll do it. Well, very good. Let's talk about those hockey antics while we're discussing our playoff races here. Avs continue to pace the rest of the NHL in first place. Cale Makar is out with an upper body injury. We are assured by Coach Bednar he will be back in time for the playoffs, but probably just leave him on the shelf and not risk anything else happening in the end games here. Because we've also been getting injury scares from Nathan McKinnon and Marty Necas. And I mean, the guys are going to be beaten and banged up anyway, like with small stuff that doesn't make the injury report. We don't need to be adding any stuff like that in at the end here. Unfortunately, we had 2 more games on the schedule with our cursed Nordiques jerseys.
Everyone I've been seeing says burn them.
Yeah, the gorgeous look, the great idea in terms of like kit design. We play like absolute doo-doo when we're wearing them. Almost all of our like lopsided losses on the year have been in those. Our like goals against average goes up to like 6.
Jesus.
When we're wearing them. An absolutely embarrassing loss to the last place Vancouver Canucks, 8-6.
6 is good.
The 6 was good. It didn't come until we were already down 6-1 or something. Just a real bad showing after a very good 9-2 whooping of the Flames.
Can't have them all, I guess.
The other NHL news, maybe getting a little bit of inspiration from the Kroenke house cleaning that happened in the Nuggets locker room at the end of last season. Couple of front offices are making moves here with about 10 games left in the year. The Vegas Golden Knights fired their coach and immediately had his replacement lined up in John Tortorella. who had just been fired for losing the locker room in Philadelphia at the end of last season, had not had a job since. So this is his first games of the season
That's
coming up here.
wild. That feels crazy to me.
So Tortorella, or Torts as he's known around the league, has a Stanley Cup on his resume. Granted, it's from 20 years ago.
It's there though.
It's on, his name's on it. And he has a bit of an MO of, he's a coach with, like, you bring him in for a group that is pretty well put together but isn't playing well. Like, if the previous coach wasn't doing the job right, you bring in Torts and he gets him going for a little bit. And then after about year 2, maybe 3, everyone gets sick of it.
All right, we've seen enough. You put together the team. Now we need someone to get him across the finish line.
But if you have enough talent for him to get motivated in those first couple of years, he can take them to the promised land. So that's the gamble they're doing in Vegas.
It's great. Like, hiring like a permanent head coach 10 games left-ish feels crazy.
And it goes to show, like, how much they thought, I think it was Bruce Cassidy was the guy who just got fired, and how much they thought, like, that's the problem.
You are so god-awful. We have to bring in this guy. And he's going to only be here for a couple years, if that.
Maybe. And then the Toronto Maple Leafs, who will not make the playoffs this year, lost their captain, Austin Matthews, to the knee by the Anaheim captain. All that. Also decided to shake things up. They fired their general manager. And it's one of those things of the timing is strange on that particular management decision, because there are not, like,
general manager I can understand a little bit more than a coach. Like, you could have someone come in and is like, all right, bring me all the scouting people, tell me what you guys know, and once we get through this draft and offseason, whatever, you may not have a job here. But I ain't gonna say that right now. The coach is crazy because it's like, you don't know what sort of system they're running, and maybe that's the problem, is they're not. But so they're gonna have them learn a system in 10-ish days.
Theoretically, I mean, with Torts' case, you're probably not going to overhaul the whole. You probably let them run whatever they've been running the rest of the year.
Problem is,
because the thing with the Knights is that even in the softest division in the league in the Pacific, they are a bubble playoff team right now. I think they were, like, fighting for the last wild card spot. So this was their sort of desperate gamble of a move when you can't make roster moves anymore. Because for as much talent as they have loaded up on, a lot of it is on injured reserve and will not be coming back this year. And then a lot of it is just underperforming and aging out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So that's sort of mercy. But so two also very different vibes in terms of organizational like mentality. Everyone knows on the Golden Knights, they are ruthless mercenaries, and if doesn't matter if you just won them a cup or a trophy or a personal award or anything, if they think they make the team better by getting rid of you, they will do it. And they will pay a pretty penny to do it as well. Toronto Maple Leafs, very old school, very classical hockey tradition over there. They do this, like, one of the things I saw pointed out is, like, when they do these transitions with a new GM will come in, the expectation is he's going to clean house and get a new staff, but they still go through the thing of waiting a whole nother season to see what the, like, fit is with the old guy and the new GM. And it's like, no, we already know you're going to fire him at the end of the year. And sure enough, end of the year, he's gone. It's like, why'd you waste the year? Just make those hard decisions up front. Be more like Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about the way that sports do things. Like, if I'm an owner, I would probably for sure run it a little bit more like Vegas does. Like, we are here on a mission to accomplish that. That's what you really want to see out of your sports teams. If you do things like Toronto, there's a respectable way of like doing things, but also it's like, we're kind of throwing some stuff away here. Like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it's a little old-fashioned feeling in the year 2026 to still be observing these, like, niceties and whatnot for the sake of the coach's feelings or whatever.
Hey, are you guys friends yet? You good?
Mm-hmm.
No, good. Okay.
Which is also funny because we have, I mean, I certainly have mourned the sort of loss of, that loyalty between player and team. And like it's still again Nikola Jokic, the rare unicorn of
Nathan
modern
McKinnon.
sports.
A lot of hockey players actually, but
Much more common in the hockey landscape, but even still getting pretty. If you're not the number one A tier caliber guy, and Connor McDavid's probably not going to stay in Edmonton.
Yeah, you've seen a lot
anymore.
of people who you didn't think they would end up in different jerseys who look a little different.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the era of free agency that we're in and whatnot, and frankly, incompetence by Canadian hockey organizations. We're finding out to maximize this talent that they have in such rich abundance up there. But McDavid cut them that sweetheart deal of 2 years at his like good number, way underpaid, and said, "Hey, let's make some moves and go get a championship." And they're worse this year.
Guys, I said we need to be better. Championship trophy? No.
Yeah, so potentially for next season, we'll be looking at.
I don't know if he's going to be there next season.
Well, he's got. If we'll see. Yeah, what kind of? Because he definitely has all the leverage in that situation.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he didn't ask for.
The other Austin Matthews probably not going back to Toronto after he's recovered from injury is the likely rumor mill currently.
I mean, what have they done out there for the most part?
I mean,
he's had some runs.
We discussed it when he got injured about how bad of a look it was for the team to not come to the defense of their captain.
Yeah,
what does that say to you about as you're the captain of like, not a single one of you stood by me, came to my defense.
If you go to his apartment right now, it's nothing's there.
Yeah, probably. But those will be the things we're looking at for off-season moves and whatnot. Yeah, we are in the home stretch as well. I think like less than 10 games now in the home stretch here. Other closer to playoff action from the league we have not discussed as much this season, but the PWHL, we are closing in on the final 5 games of the season here. Boston Fleet have unlocked a pretty killer strategy in that it's hard for people to beat you when you don't let them score.
That does seem to work out well.
Aaron Frankel threw up 3 shutouts in a row.
That only really works well if you can also at least score.
You do need to score at least once. But yeah, having the brick wall in net is kind of the secret sauce that will get you pretty far in hockey. And Aaron Frankel straight carrying. I mean, think about in a 30-game season, 3 wins from that's 10% of your wins right there of your games.
To say I accounted for 10% of what this team has done is pretty good.
Pretty filthy. So Boston has that number 1 spot locked up. The Montreal Victoire have locked up a spot as well.
Boo.
And then the rest of the standings are. It's a little bit wild. So Minnesota is almost certainly going to be locked into the 3 spot. And then it is a bit of a bloodbath battle for the last spot between Toronto, Ottawa, and New York.
Yeah.
New York being the sort of top of the pile of the bottom of the standings.
We don't need to say all that.
Well, I mean, they're much closer to the Vancouver and Seattle record. They're coming in 29 points in the standings currently, trying to chase Toronto's 34. They do have 6 games left to play, so it is theoretically the 5th. That's 18 points potentially still on the board.
Go get all 18 of them.
If they do that, they have a good shot at that number 4 spot. So, it's looking to be some mostly familiar faces in that playoff race once again.
Minnesota's trying to three-peat, if I remember. Yeah.
Minnesota will be going for the three-peat.
If they three-peat, do we just close the league down? Well, this for sure has to be rigged, right?
I mean, that may call some stuff into question. Although the Canadiens did the same thing back in the NHL in the day too, when they would just go on like a run of 6 years in a row winning the damn thing.
Yeah, but your first three, where it's just like the one team winning all three.
That's kind of what happens with these small leagues sometimes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's unfortunate. I mean, hopefully anyone else wins this year. Would be my cheering priorities.
Like New York. You want New York to win.
There would be such a groundswell. New York is everyone's favorite underdog story in the PWHL.
Absolutely.
So we're hoping, but the time's running out on this season.
No. We got time.
Okay, very good. And then before we go, we of course have to make sure we've got the baseball news covered. Zach, you did win our first week of Rockies prediction.
Not how I thought I was going to win it, but I did win that one.
Neither one of us correctly picked the games that would be the wins. I did not see us taking 2 out of 3 from Toronto.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, 2-4 was the correct prediction for those 6 games. So congratulations on the week 1 win. Week 2, we're looking at another 6-game set. We're going to see 3 games with the Philadelphia Phillies and 3 games with Houston. Now, a little bit of a spoiler. Game 1 of the Philly series is in action now.
Getting dog walked.
It was 7-0 after the first inning. So we can probably go ahead and just we chalk that one up.
Yeah, we each get a loss.
For sure. And then what are we thinking for the other 5 games?
I mean, I can't foresee us winning a game against the Phillies with the way this thing is going.
It's a bad first start, for sure.
I'm going to go 1-6 on this go-round.
Okay. So they'll take 1 out of the okay. I just to be to give us some variety, I will go ahead and take the over and say they'll take 2 wins this week. The
Astros aren't the Astros like one of the best teams in the American League? Though?
I don't think the Astros are that dominant anymore. I think they've had to retool since the series days.
The other problem I had is like I would have stayed at my of course my 2-6 or whatever. But I also don't think we've ever played the Astros well.
Yeah, that historically, it's also a thing for sure.
The Phillies are the best chance we could have possibly gotten a win from from my feels, from my baseball vibes.
Sure.
From what my ABS is telling me.
Well, speaking of ABS, the other thing that we have to discuss in baseball news from the past week, how much of CB Buckner's week did you take in?
Oh, I took in all of it.
Because
he was on my timeline every day.
I mean, it's you never as an umpire want to be known by name, unless it's Steve Hockley for being ripped.
Ed Hockley, Steve Hockley, the Hockleys.
The Hockleys, yeah, whichever one was first with his ripped guns. That's about the only case of wanting to be known by the fandom if you're behind the plate.
My dude did not have he's getting just whooped by that ABS system, and he is losing his mind while doing it, and unfortunately also had to end his week eating a ball.
Yeah, we'll go through it because CB Buckner, for those who are unfamiliar, has been calling balls and strikes as a major league ump since 1999. This man is in the part of the establishment, yeah.
And there's a stat out there that they have found in this ABS era, these old umps are not doing as well as the young guys.
Yeah.
By a large margin, like 60% worse.
It's some pretty damning evidence that I'm sure is part of the reason so many umpires are mad at this new system. Yes, day 1 of CB Buckner's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week was in a home plate umpiring appearance where he's calling balls and strikes. 8 challenges through the game, 6 of them successful, which was at the time the record. Would soon immediately be broken the very next day. But 6 overturned calls, including 2 back-to-back strike 3 calls that were both incorrect that got taken off the board. And then he threw a tattle tantrum in the end of that game when Boston, who had no challenges left, could not appeal when the home plate umpire called Trevor Story out on a check swing without checking down to his first. Because normally the home plate umpire will defer to the umpire down whichever baseline has the better sight line for the batter. And no, CB said, I know this one. He is out. And it led to a fun manager ejection.
A nice manager ejection.
Day 2, to follow up that performance, he is the first base umpire for a game in which a play in the 6th inning comes over to first base. The ball is hit to the second baseman. He does not field it cleanly, has to kind of scramble a little.
The second baseman was Trevor Story.
Not this time. The throw to first base is wide of the first baseman, doesn't even catch it. And so the runner comes back to the first base, and then they throw the ball to the first baseman, and he tags him, and CB Buckner says, "You're out." And everyone looked around like, what the hell are you talking about? And the home plate umpire had to make an announcement. So the ruling on the field is that the runner did not make contact with first base. And we go to the video replay review, as is warranted.
I challenge, I guess.
And every baseball content creator in the world has made a video on this incident because you can watch frame by frame as the runner's foot fully impacts dead center on first base. And CB Buckner, his eyes are in a completely different direction, looking at a different zip code. So he's not even looking at the foot that he says is for sure not touching the bag. And just, a very funny clip of both managers catching each other's eye during the timeout and just laughing and being like, this is ridiculous. And then, yes, the coup de grace and all that, the following day, back behind the plate, and a 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Jacob Misarowski, one of the hottest young flamethrowers in the league, gets foul-tipped straight into his face mask. And yeah, that's going to be a bad way to end your workday.
Yeah, I think he didn't make it through the game.
They removed him after that. I mean, he required medical attention. Almost certainly had a concussion. And
I mean, you could have said he had a concussion a couple days ago.
We'd believed it, yeah, for sure. The now poster child for the unbridled success of the ABS system.
I guess did you see what the Dodgers game too?
Maybe.
He went over, so after he finished his roundup bullying Trevor Story and the Boston Red Sox, I don't forget who the Dodgers series he went in. One of the Dodgers pitchers, I don't remember. Dodgers, there was a blue and red team. I can't remember who. Dodgers, Cubs, one of the teams. But he threw a dead center strike.
Oh yeah.
And CB called it ball and it got cussed out by the pitcher, who immediately, where he lost his cool, popped off his helmet and was just giving him the business. And I think it had to been the Dodgers because the manager had come and was like, all right, calm down. What are we all doing here? We're all professionals.
Yo boy, yeah. There have been a lot of those as well. Of some very embarrassing missed strike calls that are center cut, center of the plate, center of the zone. It's a bad look out there for. And I saw a thing about they were interviewing retired umpires about it, who all think it's so unfair and what wild expectations to have for the umpires to be that accurate. And in my day, we always move the zone around.
That's that's stupid because from what we know, especially about baseball, the strike zone is the message I've been hearing all week long.
And that was the exact argument the umpires were like, the strike zone's not defined and you'll never define it. And nah, dog, it's pretty clearly stated.
Pretty well defined, especially even in the rule books and as we introduce the system, which we created via the rule book.
Yeah, there are defined written boundaries. And while some of them are not great, the written one is that it's the from the knees to the middle of the chest, and not defining what a middle is or what the middle of the chest is. Yeah, better to go off of loose regulation and measurement than just to say it's willy-nilly and making it up as I go.
Yeah, we've learned a lot about this. So there was another instance where there was like a 3-0 count and a pitch way off gets called a strike, which immediately, of course, gets challenges. And they were like, why are you going to call that strike? He's like, well, I'm opening up the zone. Like, no,
That's not how the zone works.
Not how the zone is. Reason for this.
Yeah, it's wild power fantasies and megalomania getting checked by hard data, which I love to see.
It's interesting. One, for the old umpires, we know it's possible. There are some umps out there who are usually on the younger side who get it right about 90% of the time, if not higher than that, like who are really good at their job.
That's the big thing. Is like there are some umps out there who are doing it well, who are not talking about effing it up all the time.
Yeah, even like if you were to say like 80-85% of the time, especially with when we're talking about millimeters, inches, and all that stuff in the game, like that's incredible, especially for how fast everything's moving at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are missing, let's say I ran out of challenges for you and you still called another 8 or so wrong, cough, cough, CB Buckner, who we could have potentially challenged like 15 or 20 of the pitches he saw in the very first game.
Yeah,
that's craziness, because we're in a game we're getting shown 100 plus pitches, so a fifth of them you're already calling wrong as is. That's crazy.
Yeah, a detriment to the game for sure. Well, fantastic. I'm sure we'll have more opportunity to dig into that little tasty nugget throughout the season of ABS system.
Have you heard about what else the ABS system has done?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, so tell me.
So the ABS system has apparently called out a lot of different players in the MLB.
Oh yes, it's a lot of players are now much shorter than they were claiming on their baseball cards before.
Exactly.
Yes, because due to the exact measurement necessary for getting this ABS system all squared away and ready to go for the season, had to do detailed measurement on a lot of these fellas who. A lot of fellas who aren't 6 foot anymore.
There's a lot of people who are a little off in their measurements by 3 or more inches.
Some 5'9" fellas who getting a little more truth in their world these days. I did see that, yeah.
And the other fun thing is, I'm interested to see how the ABS system affects the world of baseball, because what we know about it thus far is short kings are winning in the major leagues.
I mean, that's always been true of baseball stuff, because it is a height-defined zone. It's always been beneficial to be short.
It's so much harder now, though.
Yeah, it's just you have to make up for having the shorter legs and all that.
A little bit. It's kind of like, do I take the short person to get all these balls, and I also need someone to fill a gap.
If you can teach the short person to bat left-handed, that kind of cancels out the short leg thing with the closer to the first base.
Doesn't help him in fielding, though. He's still going to have to do that piece
of
the job.
I mean, that's why we have DHs now.
Yeah.
But would you rather waste your or use your DH spot on a slugger?
Little guy. Who says the little guy can't be a slugger?
It's true. It's
all he does is eat protein and swing a heavy bat all day long. That is his regimen.
That could work. We'll find out. Fantastic. One last topic before we go out. In current event adjacent news, Wednesday was April Fool's. A couple just light history questions here. Zach, have you ever been April Fooled or pulled off a good April Fool's?
I've not. It's never been like a real big thing for me.
Okay. It was definitely a thing when I like going to school era. I did like kind of have to be on my toes because there was.
Yeah, because all you Catholic kids are.
There was an expectation
ruleless.
of pranks afoot. How do you have any guesses on where the origins of April Fool's Day come from? Like how far back it goes?
Oh, I'm gonna guess it. We probably stole it from the pagans, like we do everything. If I had to guess.
I mean, you're not wrong. Uh, the fun thing I found is your guess is kind of as good as any because we don't really know how far back it goes.
April Fool's is an April Fool's itself.
There are writings of April the 1st based fooling and pranking holidays going back earlier than the 1500s. And this I did not know. In the Hispanic world, they do December 28th, and it's Dia de los Santos Inocentes. And it's the same idea though, where you're trying to prank kids. So yes, there's something universally beloved by all Western cultures of setting aside a day where it's okay to just play jokes and pull pranks and
it's just a prank, bro.
Get up to some mischief. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting, actually.
Because it's like, we're not quite doing a purge, but just little mischief. We're going to do just a tiny one.
Yeah, Loki's Day.
Indeed. Very good. Well, that, I think, covers all of our business and behind-the-scenes footage. Oh, no.
No, I had one more thing in our things of just happening.
Okay.
In the world that we live in today, there are some people that you must be nice to out there in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like people that you don't really want to upset. Your doctor, your dentist. Some people who you think are like maybe less important, like I don't know, your IT people who you may not want to upset.
Sure.
One judge out in Texas did not seem to be having a very good day, and he needed some IT help, of course, naturally. Judge Nathan Milliron, who goes ballistic on said IT person after he just closed the app and reopened the app for the judge who was having apparently audio issues with it, and said, I didn't see nothing wrong. I guess it's a false positive. It's like, no, something was wrong. And then threw him out of the courtroom and asked for his superior, which a lot of people have not taken very lightly, and has ended up being not so good for the judge, because a lot of people said this is not how he has not acted in a way befitting of a judge.
Yeah, a poor display of judgment and behavior, and decorum.
And unfortunately, the people out there in the world, we have a lot of armchair detectives out there. Said, what else has this guy been up to? So we have learned a lot of dirt about him, from bankruptcies to all the things he's not done or paid, or all the ethics things he may have done. So be nice to your IT people.
Yes, that is a great lesson to take away. And do a better job of covering your public dirt if you're gonna try and be a abusive power person.
Like, in anyone's right mind, if you yell at the IT person and you need help again,
who are you gonna talk to? Yeah.
What makes you think that they are gonna come back to you? And if they are gonna come back to you, you are gonna be so at the bottom of that list.
I mean, if you are a person who lives in a world where everyone bows to your whims, the notion of other people not taking you as the most important thing in the world can come as a shock sometimes, I guess.
Unfortunately, there is this beautiful, beautiful movie out there called Terminator, and let me tell you how computers do not care about the will and power that you hold.
This is definitely true. Yeah, and the IT people are our last line of defense.
And you're wondering, and a lot of people are saying, there would never be. Why would robots want to come out here and get us?
You gotta say thank you to Google and Alexa and
Say
Siri.
Thank you to Google, Alexa, Siri. Be nice to all your IT people who help you with all your
basic manners. We're all sentient beings, kind of.
Everyone is.
It can hear and talk and feel.
I don't like Phil, but neither here nor there.
Best to err on the side of safety in that case.
Yeah, no Terminators, please.
Very good. Well, that has been our behind-the-scenes director's commentary for episode 28. And let's cut back to the regular episode where, Zach, I think you're about to outro us from the episode.
Thank you guys for coming along on another 321 Presents. Today we learned a lot about how to make a Terminator.
Is that what we learned?
We learned a lot of other things. Terminators, ABS.
Review the footage. I'm not putting my Terminator together correctly, I guess.
That looks like it's in the strike zone to me. So. You can catch all of our episodes on the Spotify, of course, the Apples. You can go check us out on YouTube now that we're all caught up. You can even check them out on our website, and it could lead you to any of those places, 321 Pods. Of course, I have been your host with the most, Zach, and I got brought along today by Nick, and we will see you guys next week.
Adios.